In the last video, we edited our raw files. We're now ready to send things over to Photoshop. In this video, I'll show you the way that I recommend the process of pre-blending if you have Lightroom and Lumenzia. If you don't have those tools, then see the separate video in this course for alternative workflows where I'll comment a little bit more, and definitely check out the written and video documentation that comes with Lumenzia that more completely discusses all the ways you might use the pre-blend function. In this course, I'm just going to show you the ways that are most relevant if you have access to Lightroom and you're blending exposures through selections. So let's pick up where we left off in the last video by shift-clicking or command-clicking the various source exposures we want to send from RAW over to Photoshop. Right-click on them and then choose Edit in, Open as Layers in Photoshop. This will send everything over to Photoshop as a single document with multiple layers. Once your image is open, just click on Pre-blend, where you'll be presented with a few different options. Most of the time, you should use the options that are here. You'll want to sort dark exposures on top for most blends. We'll get into a little bit more of that as we go through the coursework here. The next two options are for aligning either automatically or manually. You can leave those unchecked as long as you shot on a tripod. Blend if is something that you will not need for hardly any blends once you understand the blending process presented in this course. But you do want to add black masks, which just get you ready to start blending. So simply sort dark on top, add black masks, and then hit blend layers. We're now ready to go. We have our layers sorted in the proper order. We have black masks on the upper layer so we can begin painting on them. And Lumenzia automatically locks your layers. Not the general lock that would prevent any changes, but simply a protection against changing the image pixels. So right now, if I were to paint on this layer mask with white here, you can see I'm revealing this darker exposure as I should, and that's the blending process. We want that to happen. I'm going to undo that. But what if you were to accidentally click on the pixels? Well, you don't want to paint them, and right now you cannot do that because they're locked, which is why the pre-blend function locks them down for you. If you need to go in and for some reason clone a dust spot or make some other change, you can certainly go unlock things, make a change, and then relock it. But I strongly encourage you to leave things locked when you're painting on the layer mask, because if you begin to actually change your image pixels, then you'll ruin your underlying source. And it's very easy to accidentally paint on these pixels and not notice it until much later in the process. So it's just a best practice. Trust me, if you haven't run into it already, you will eventually damage your image pixels if you're not locking them down.